All right, our guest on Strike a Chord is Nashville artist Brandon Lee Harris, returning to the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Here he comes in, zooming in. How's it going, Brandon?
Oh, we're still waiting.
There we are.
There you are. Hi.
How you doing, my friend?
Good, happy Friday, y'all. I love what's good is the best way of starting y'all's convos. Thank you for bringing the what's good.
Hey, you got to. There's so much negativities 24/7. So we only want to hear the positive movement, but we're actually kind of starting this off on a different note, though, Brandon. I know you like the what's good, but I know that you're back on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, with the brand new emotionally charged single called Fireball. And I know this song in particular was written in collaboration with a friend of yours from Altadena who recently passed away from a sudden brain cancer. So was Fireball finished before the passing, or did you feel compelled to finish the track in their honor?
You know, we finished the song prior to their passing, and it was actually, honestly, over 10 years ago that we wrote it. But in the midst of, it being a year after he had passed away, from that sudden brain cancer, along with the spirit that the whole world's been in with this COVID thing, there was the lyrics I felt like very much resonated with, that apocalyptic kind of a perspective that I feel like been more familiar with than prior to, what this year has brought upon itself. So it's felt like a, fair time to recognize just the powerful position everybody in the world is in, in decisions that we all make as communities, and how much I feel like, we don't want the world to go down like a fireball. So it's, it's kind of just like an attempt to raise awareness and then also, paying honor to Mr. Busby.
Well, I find it a fabulous song. I had no idea that it was written almost 10 years ago, because there's a particular line in that track that stuck with me, because it says, "Who decided anyone could be above another man? If you can get high enough, then you'll see that we're all from one land. So tell us nothing now, we know it all." To me, Fireball is like a cry to God for taking the life of someone who died too young. Is that kind of the gist that you were trying to get at with this track?
Honestly, that line was, collectively created by him and I. So it was, before he would have even known that he had any risk of cancer. I think the inspiration of, I kind of had started the idea musically and came into it with the tone lyrically of where I felt like this could go. And he was great at really creating the other half. I felt like, musically and lyrically, it was fun to collaborate. After, on the last episode that I was on the Collins Show, I can't remember if I had mentioned that I was in that car wreck, almost died back 15 years ago. It was just like,
no, you didn't mention that.
No, you didn't.
I fell asleep at the wheel and hit a tree going 50 in like 2-week coma. And like, it was like Vanderbilt helicopter flighted me, back at like, it was crazy, because a month rehab inpatient and then a couple months outpatient. But like, it was down. I mean, my heart was beating, but I wasn't breathing. And, so I think that there's just maybe there's influence in Fireball lyrically that were stemmed from, just that, just the reality of how short life can be. But then, of course, it was so applicable to now the fact that he's passed away, and it's like, just, life can, he came and went like a fireball.
Yeah, I mean, because I desperately want to believe that life after Earth is real, and I don't want the party to end when I die. And I know that's exactly how you feel too. But when I see someone with a severe disability or battling this god-awful brain cancer, I mean, I sometimes question God's plan. I mean, do you ever feel like you're hesitant to address this kind of stuff in your own music?
Totally. I mean, and even honestly, going through when I went through what I went through, at least close to dying, I was like, I found myself at a crossroads. Not to sound cliche, but I was just like, okay, well, I kind of wish I was in heaven, but now I got to get a job at Taco Bell here on Earth, like, and do all this earthly stuff. And like, but then I was like, oh wait, I mean, instead of you know, like not, instead of like seeking empathy, why don't I just celebrate the fact that I've got this second chance? It's what an honor it is.
Yeah.
And it's such a fun thing to celebrate, to a level of dancing in my diaper at Bonnaroo, or on Venice Beach, you know, just like, and just celebrating just, you know, maybe the ways that, you know, just the every breath that we get, you know, it's amazing how many breaths we take in a day. And it's like, just nice to be able to share moments with family and friends. You know, it's so precious, especially in these holidays. You really, you know, appreciate the time that you have live on Earth. And
absolutely. And let's let your brand new emotionally charged track,
Treasured customs will come here, as long as we can all agree. Everybody come on in, support the necessary greed. So tell us nothing now, we know it all. We built the golden cow, they built a new wall. Our time is running out, they placed a call, going down like a fireball, going down. Who decided anyone could be above another man? If you can get high enough, then you will see we're all from one land. So tell us nothing now, we know it all. We built the golden cow, that built a new wall. Our time is running out, they placed a call, going down like a fireball, going down, going down like a fireball, going down. So tell us nothing now, we know it all. We built the golden cow, that built a new wall. Our time is running out, they placed a call, going down like a fireball, going down, or going down like a fireball, going down. Treasure customs will come here, as long as we can all agree. Everybody come on in, support the necessary greed.
That is Brandon Lee Harris's brand new emotionally charged track. That song is called Fireball. You can listen on all the audio streaming services around. I mean, it's really good. And I mean, you
so
kind of
much,
got me
Joel.
in a weird place right now, Brandon, because you were like, I really love joining your show because you always started off on a what's good note. Well, I'm not necessarily bringing you the good news right now because I'm sorry, but I did see this on Wednesday, which I did want to bring up with you because there is a new report from the Nashville Chamber of Commerce yesterday shows how much the coronavirus affected the city's music industry that you're currently living in. And this is what they have to say. Of studio and performance musicians, 79.4% said they had experienced unemployment since March, and 67.5% estimated their 2020 income will be at or below $36,000. That is a $10,000 drop from last year's average. So I wanted to throw this at you because let's say, live concerts in America, they won't begin at the start of 2022, not 21, 2022. Do you believe up and coming artists will be able to survive another year of not touring and performing?
I feel like I guess I've heard some dates that are booked at least for April or May, but those are in UK, and I don't know if that's something that they at least plan, and then worst case they just pull the plug and like you're saying, even have to push it back even later. But at least in Nashville, I definitely haven't heard of when those venues, at least independent venues, will be able to open back up and running. I know a lot of the alternate approaches that have been cool to see, like I know the 5 Spot and 3rd and Lindsley, they'll have like streaming concerts that you can definitely tune in.
Those are like super expensive. Like I know metalsucks.net, they wrote a big live streaming breaking down the cost of what it's like for the band Under Oath to perform at the Observatory here in Santa Ana, California. It runs to the $100,000s of dollars. I mean, you have to rent out the venue. Then you got to rent out stage gear, which is another $20,000. Then you need to do the broadcasting live fee. That's another $30,000. I mean, this is money you don't have. I mean, I know that there's other apps around there called Sessions that's now trying to spark up that creativity to bring the live streaming events from, the comfort of Brandon Lee Harris's home. But I mean, do you feel like this could be very devastating? Because I'm a little scared, but do you have confidence that the Nashville music industry will make that comeback after all this mayhem's over?
Yeah, I have to say yes, definitely, because of how much history, and how deeply rooted it is in the city, and even more, I'm trying to look at it with the glass half full, definitely, I think it's gonna inevitably create inspiration, musically and lyrically, I'm sure, in ways that, wouldn't have existed prior to going through such a, unordinary event. But,
right. But I know you were mentioning Yeah, no, but I know you were mentioning earlier, like, obviously I don't want to not stop being a musician. I want to start working at Taco Bell, and I hope that's not what you do to get your creative juices going.
Props to all Mexi Melt makers.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, I've been studying coding on the side. I got accepted to Nashville.
See, I was going to ask you that. Okay.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. That's awesome.
Is that something, computer coding? Is that something that you're doing when, obviously every musician goes through a funk, obviously during lockdown, and you have no ideas to get sparked. So is computer coding like your new thing now that creates that creative spark?
It's an interesting outlet that feels very relevant to the times, and also creatively it's fun to have. There's been a lot of parallels with recording, I feel like, too, and making a song is like making a website, or something, like whether it's HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. CSS, of course, is a little more of the styling, so it's kind of fun to think of, just trying to even, get my head around how to, let your taste be seen through with in a language of its own, but I guess a lot of musicians that I've known have been into coding for a while, or are in it, or getting into it. And it's fun to see how that at least is but you know, it's cool how open of I've been amazed on how many resources online there are that are free and accessible to everybody. Like, it's cool how if you have any kind of computer access, you know, to the internet, you can, you know, really Code Academy, Treehouse, what's the other?
I know Ashton Kutcher has one that he's been promoting like crazy. And I mean, when I look at you, you were kind of like the last person I would have ever thought about computer coding. But I mean, we want to have enough time so we can play you one of your other tracks. I love this music video that you have. It's so you, man. It's such a good one. This song's called Handful of Dreams. That track. That is Brandon Lee Harris. That's his song Handful of Dreams. And one of these days I'm going to make you tap that out because I want to know how to play it. Okay. I love that melody. Yes. I can rock
GuitarTabs.com.
what site?
Coming to you soon at guitartabs.com.
Yeah, right.
That's his new. That's the site he's coding.
Yeah, that's what he's been coding this whole time.
That's what he's coding.
That makes sense. But while we got like one more last minute with you, I did want to ask this question because I've noticed with the themes of your music videos, you're very into film noirs. And when I think of film noirs, I think of the Maltese Falcon. I think of Psycho. I mean, what mood do you want to bring to your listening audience or the viewing audience on a level with these music videos? Well, how do you want them to feel?
And I'm taking notes here. I got to see Maltese Falcon because I haven't seen that. And I'm doing these black and whites like that. Definitely noir. I guess I like the simplicity of the black and whites. And I always have to give props to Chris Isaac, Wicked Game, seeing that as a teenager.
I love that
and
song.
I thought that was like,
one, yeah.
As a teen and you see that and you're like, what a lush song to, like combine that, the romantic element, of course, but like, I just love, there's a hats off to the old school cats, and the tradition before color even existed in video.
Oh yeah.
Man, it's, I'm trying to think of
well, it makes you feel like, I guess when you're listening in black and white, you don't have to pay attention so much to the visual. It's more like making you focus in on the music. And I feel like that's what I get from your music videos. But again, I want to remind the listening audience that this is our featured Strike a Chord artist, Brandon Lee Harris, joining us for the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. I want to thank you again, brother. And I hope you have much success and happy holidays during this wonderful break, my friend.
Thank you so much, y'all.
Happy holidays.
Good to see y'all. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And we'll keep in touch, my friend. Peace.